Hello, hello, Shadows of Nox people. Welcome to session 2 of Avatar Legends, the role-playing game here on Shadows of Nox. Tonight's episode is entitled The Wind's Fury. So I'm really excited to get into this. Before we start introductions, I'm going to set the scene with our typical intro to the game, as you might see on the TV show itself. So here we go. Fire, air, water, earth. The elements that shape our world are in balance, but a shadow stirs beneath the surface. Across the four nations, whispers of corrupted spirits and hidden powers echo in the wind. In a time of uncertainty, an unlikely group of heroes rises to confront the growing darkness. Bound by fate and friendship, they must uncover the truth behind a mysterious force threatening both the physical and spiritual realms. As danger looms on the horizon, their journey begins. My name is Chunky Love, also known as John Blair. You can find me on all of the Shadows of Nox things. Sometimes you can find me on the Power Rangers podcast as Brick Kerrigan. You can also find me on the Power Rangers Centurion stream as Felix Boucheron. I am in Being Villainous as Eden, a magical centaur man whose power set is slightly taken from the Avatar world, I think. Other than that, we're going to start with introductions for our other fabulous cast members. So first, I think I'll go in reverse order this time and start with Rezin.
Fantastic. Hi, I'm Rezin. And tonight I'm playing Cha Mu, our pillar for the group. He's an earthbender. And you can find me here on Twitch occasionally, randomly. Small increments when I have the energy for it. Doing my own streams. Or you can find me right here. Just stay tuned. Watch all of them. Watch every episode. I'm probably in it at some point. More times than not. Especially here in October, because I overbooked myself.
All right, awesome. Up next, we've got Kit.
Heyo, I'm Kit. I'm in a number of the Shadow of Nox one-shots here for spooky season, and I've been having fun with the ones that have happened so far, and the ones that are going to happen in the future, I'm sure, will be a delight. I'm also in Being Villainous 102, where I play our Owlkin Necromancer, who's got issues, it's fine. You can also find me over at Lucas G Variety, playing my Vault Boy for our Fallout game. V/C70R, and yes, I gotta say it that fast because I hate it now. I've said it too many times. For this game, I am playing our icon, Sister Chime of the Order of the Moth Tiger, and I am here to solve this problem, do a great job, ignore the fact that I've never left the temple really before.
I'm interested to see how Chime reacts to tonight's events, I think.
Poorly.
Well, we'll see. Probably. Who knows?
Who knows?
Up next, we've got Graham.
Hi, I'm Grim. I'm here a lot as well, but I'm in more of the regular stuff because I'm in season 3 of the Power Rangers podcast. I'm also playing in Power Rangers Centurion Ridge as the Red Ranger Link. I am the GM for Being Villainous. I'm here playing Masaru Choi, the as I've referred to him, the pre-himbo firebender who knows how to lightning bend. For spooky season, you can actually catch me on Fridays running Chill, the spoof files. We had a great first session, which was last week. We've got session 2 coming up, and I left it on a cliffhanger on purpose, so I'm excited to find out how the players react to what's going on. I'm in the Fallout game on Lucas G Variety, playing my Vault Boy Lucky. He has been referred to as the ray of sunshine you just want to punch in the face, and I absolutely love that description. I think that pretty much covers what I'm doing, so we're good to go.
Awesome. Up next is everyone's favorite Star Trek captain, Lottie West.
It's me, Lottie West. I am fresh off my first GMing experience. I did a one shot that you can watch here on the Twitch channel. It'll be up on the YouTube eventually. Of my first GMing adventure, and it was called. Well, it was for the USS Hopkins. I named it Echoes of the Past, but I forgot to mention that at any point during the thing because I was so nervous because it was my first time GMing. But I had so much fun and it was so cool. I'm also here a lot. I do the Power Rangers podcast where I'm Cecily Adwell, the Ren Fair Blue Ranger. I was in the Call of Cthulhu game run by the incredible Isabets. I'm in Being Villainous 102 as your favorite goblin that wants to steal your beauty. And I'm always here to have fun. I also am a LARP writer and a LARPer, and I do marketing. So if you want to follow me and get the lowdown on all that information, you can follow me at Lottie West. There's always something going on. And I'm so excited to be playing the Swamp Vander from the swamp itself, Miss Dora Lee. It's going to be great.
I'm excited. I'm excited for everyone to experience this episode. And finally, we have Clock, who also has some calls of action for anyone watching the stream tonight. Clock, if you want to take that away.
Indeed. My name is Joe, also known as Clockwork Tuba. You can find me on Twitch or YouTube or pretty much any of the socials under that name. I generally do cozy games when I stream, though with MechWarrior 5 Clans coming out, I think tomorrow evening, Thursday, I will be starting to stream that because I am obsessed with mechs, as anyone who's had a longer than 5-minute conversation with me is aware. Here on Shadow of Nox, I basically have typecast myself as either being old or father figure in pretty much all the games currently running. So, yeah, and that is cemented tonight with Li Shen, who is the Elder Playbook, who is basically your standard 3 days from retirement. He was supposed to be doing an easy milk run for his last tour of service, and then passing the torch over to Rezin's character, but then, well, stuff happened, so every time he tries to get out, they pull him back in. But the call of action, it is October, it is spooky month, it is all the fun spoopy things that are happening all over across Shadow of Nox include a lot of one-shots or short-shot games. The big one we have is there is a giveaway for a box of goodies created by John Panabon, the tormentor of my nightmares. You know him, you love him. And that reveal will happen blah 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 words. Try that one again. The drawing is going to happen on Halloween during Isabet's Alien one-shot game. The way you enter the drawing is 2 times every stream this month. You can put in hashtag spooky snack into the chat. Give it about 5 minutes. Or at least, if you don't see me respond that I've got your entry, give it about 5 minutes and try again. And then once that happens, I'll get you down on the list. But yeah, that's it for me.
Awesome. All right. So just to set the scene a little bit, on previously on Avatar, in the aftermath of the Guardian Spirit's corruption and devastating attack on Senlin Village, the heroes find themselves unraveling a growing mystery. With the help of Shu, a troubled youth of the village, they uncover a strange, ominous token. This token bears markings that point to a shadowy organization long spoken of only in whispers, the Shadow Cabal. Their involvement in the corruption and chaos now seems undeniable, and the weight of the discovery sits heavily on the shoulders of our heroes. Meanwhile, Kaibo, the village fisherman, notices several boats missing from the docks. Their absence raises suspicions of a hurried escape by the Cabal under the cover of night. The trail seems to lead down towards the Foggy Bottom Swamp, a foreboding place of secrets and danger, and the home of Dora Lee. As the group makes preparations to pursue this dark trial, they find themselves mounting Sister Chime's loyal flying bison Trinket. preparing to leave the village behind, determined to stop the Cabal and uncover more of the dark forces at play. They know their journey will take them deeper into the unknown, but as they prepare to soar into the skies, unaware of what lies ahead, one truth is becoming increasingly clear. Danger is ever present, lurking just beyond the horizon. All right, so I want to start with, I kind of touched on it a little bit, but one of my favorite things that Grim does on Being Villainous is asking us what happened last time. So I did touch on a few things, that the main points that happened last time, but does anyone want to sort of talk about what their characters went through in the last session? That way we can kind of transition into growth questions that we didn't get to last time. So
I can tell you exactly what Masaru dealt with last time. He was busy helping townsfolk, doing random odd jobs, etc., using that as an excuse for training, including moving fish around. He was given the clue of the missing boats, but he's kind of dumb, so he didn't pick it up. And he did manage to get some other people on that. Last I remember we left off, the group was together because, well, you know, Masaru was like, we should talk about this, because he's a nice, friendly guy. That's about all I remember, but that's because that's all he was involved in.
that's true. You didn't really have a lot of general plot. You weren't deeply tied into the plot, although you're right, I did try and send you that way, but it didn't end up working out. But that's fine.
Oh no, I picked up on what you were throwing down. Masaru was just too dumb, which is why I pointed somebody else in that direction to make sure that plot point got covered.
That got covered, right? Perfect. I'm glad you were looking out. So let's start with you then. We'll go through the general growth questions for Masaru, and then we will go through the ones that are on your specific character sheet. Did you learn something challenging, excited, or complicated about the world?
I would say he didn't really learn much. Like, he doesn't get the significance of the Shadow Cabal yet, so like, he learned that they exist, but for him it's like, okay, it's bad guys, we got to beat them up.
Right. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I mean, it depends on whether or not you count him helping the community by basically doing odd jobs to solve a community problem.
I mean, I think you were helping the village get back on its feet a little bit, and I think that kind of was it dangerous? No, but were you helping solve issues in the community? I say yes. I'll give you a point for that. Did you guide a companion towards balance at the end of the session at your... Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? I believe you did, because there wasn't ever a time where your character's balance got shifted.
Yeah, I ended it centered.
All right. So that gives you 2 on here. And then if we go to your character sheet, we can discover if you...
My very specific other question is, did you express gratitude to a companion for their presence, support, or teaching? I didn't really have an opportunity, so I'm going to say no.
I would agree with that. I don't think that really ever came up for you. So you do have 2 out of 4 growth. So when you hit 4, you're able to add a growth. So that works for you. Up next, does anyone else want to go next?
Yeah, I guess I'll go.
Okay.
Well, I don't remember the questions at all. I have my question here in front of me, though.
Well, let's start with what your character kind of was doing last session, and where you kind of ended up.
He was overworking himself, delegating and coordinating group efforts so that he could maximize the efficiency of the group. Much to his chagrin, Shu was sent to him, and he kind of gave him really big tasks. that probably shouldn't be handed to a child. But he was exhausted and was not in the best mindset or thinking clearly. And then he went and relaxed and gave kids some tea, kind of. And then he found out about the Shadow Cabal. I think that's about it. I think then we decided that we were going to go.
Yeah, you guys are kind of about to make preparations to get ready and leave. So if you have anything else that you want to do in the village before you guys set off, you'll be able to do that. As far as the questions are concerned, the first question is, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world? That's question number 1.
Kind of. In that weird of like, I realized a personal thing that I have overdone it. And there is a thing of overdoing it to the point where it becomes a detriment.
Yeah, actually, I liked your answer to that. So I think I will give that one to you for sure. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I mean, technically a community problem, because I'm literally routing people to like move that rubble, change out those guards, and give them a break. Go do this. So in that sense, yes, but on the other hand, kind of not really. I didn't really solve a community issue directly. I indirectly had others go and solve it for me.
Yeah, I would say you're it was
It's in that weird place.
Indirect. So I'm gonna say probably no for that one.
Okay.
Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? I'm pretty sure.
I did not.
Oh, your balance got shifted by Poli, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did it actually get shifted towards leadership? Because the whole thing is.
It did.
Okay.
It got shifted by 1 towards leadership.
All right.
You reminded me that I needed to take breaks. Let other people take the load.
All right. And then so that's a no on that one. And then your specific question, did you help a companion find a significant success with their issues or lead the group in finding a significant collective success?
No, there's enough of a technicality to be said that yes, I sent people out to go do things, but also no. Because I didn't personally see to it that I got that information from Shu. And maybe if I had, that would have done it, but it would still be, I'd be hard pressed to say yes to it.
I would agree. So we're ending you with just 1 growth tick. Don't worry. I believe by the end of this session, most, if not all of you, will have full growth for this session. So we'll see how that goes. Anyone want to go next? Kit, Lottie?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Sorry, my camera keeps like, I must have loosened it, so I'm trying to like make sure that it's. Sorry. Dorley just found herself in town, and she decided to try and help as best as she could. And she ran into not an elder, but somebody with a little bit of status in the village. Wanted to help out at the temple after things had kind of been run amok, and then kind of ran into Sister Chime and ended up trying to be like the loud, bold voice for her at some points. Just kind of talking for her. Very much she didn't ask for pickles or something kind of vibes. She didn't ask for pickles on her sandwich. And then I lost my possum chicken, Bow Bow, and led us to our next stop on the journey, which is heading down the river towards my hometown, toward my kinfolk. So
yeah, definitely. You are the reason that they found out that they escaped taking boats from the docks and headed towards presumably the swamp. They headed south, and you know that south of that village is the swamp eventually. So
the swamp.
At least that's the most spiritually significant area south of the village at this point. So the questions again: did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
I think she did get a little bit of a when the elders really weren't kind of taking her seriously because of who she like how she looks and like what her voice sounds like. That was kind of I could argue that she was learning that people are going to treat her differently because of where she comes from.
Sure, I'll give that to you. That sounds convincing enough. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I think I helped solve a community problem with Sister Chime when we were trying to have a conversation with those two elders that were fighting and bickering.
Sure. I would also say that like you discovering the like where they might go next is probably something that could be attributed to that as well.
I was thinking that too. I just didn't know if it was too obvious, so I didn't say it.
I mean, you did it, so.
Yeah, I did do it.
You did it.
Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? I believe you did. I mean, no one's balance really shifted. So I'm hesitant to really give this to anybody, honestly, unless, but I mean, technically you did not shift your balance.
No.
And then your specific question is, did you express vulnerability by admitting you were wrong or that you should have listened to someone you ignored?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so at all.
I went bold and brash.
You're not gonna get that one a lot, are you?
I don't.
It'd be a struggle.
Yeah, that one might be hard for you to get. Okay, that's funny.
I looked at it and I was like, oh no, that's challenging.
Well, hey, I mean, that's something that you have to think about as you go through in the story, right? Is how can you maybe incorporate that into your character and actually doing that thing to achieve the growth. But so far, you're the one with the most potential for growth here. Kit, you want to go next?
Sure, I can go next. Upon arrival, Sister Chime decided to go investigate the temple and hopefully find out, what happened. Oh no, the terrible thing why the Guardian lost its mind and attacked everyone. But before I could get to that, I found a child at the top of a tree, which seems very unsafe.
Yes.
So I had to spend some time convincing the child that Shu, as is that they're not a burden on society, which is a real heavy thing for a child to be concerned about. Sure, that's fine. And then got him to hand over the information on what he'd seen the previous night, as well as a little token thing, if I recall correctly.
It's a little
with their
token.
emblem on it.
It has like their emblem on it, and it looks like it could be part of a larger. Yes, it looks like it could be part of a larger thing that it was like maybe cracked off of. But we'll get to that later probably.
Then I met up with our lovely swamp mitter who was hanging out with the local charm seller, I think.
Yeah, just a weird sort of eclectic.
It was one
like spiritual lady. She, yeah, she has her little wood eggs that she sells to the townspeople.
Right.
Well, yeah, let's get into your questions, I think. Did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
There's an order of these people who are literally doing the opposite of my job.
Yeah.
my order's whole thing, count that as challenging.
Trying to disrupt the spirits. That's not a good thing.
Why would anyone want to do that?
Well, I don't know. World destruction is a pretty common thing in the Avatar world, I think. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? I think your experience with Shu,
a community problem.
Yeah, I think your experience with Shu definitely earns you a tick mark on that one for sure.
Child in tree, untreat.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center?
I'm at
I
my
don't believe
center.
you did, but you are at your center, and you were giving a lot of comforting advice. So I think I will give that one to you. And then, growth question: did you accomplish a feat worthy of your burden and tradition?
I didn't punt the child. No, I don't think anything particularly feat worthy occurred.
I would agree
Just
with-
finding out about these people, I wouldn't really consider a great feat.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have Li Shen. Clock. Your stuff is a little weird, right? So you
Yeah.
don't.
So yeah,
You
so
don't have typical growth questions.
to go on the recap, Li Shen spent the majority of the session organizing children into, some say, child army. He just says organized, to like help out and run things into the kitchen, and then sending Shu over to Shamu, and when Shamu came back to check on something. That's the first time people actually reported stuff back to Li Shen, despite seeing Masaru, because Masaru, our lovable proto-himbo, had forgotten everything by the time he had run back to actually see Li Shen.
You don't know nothing.
He finds out that Shu had been sent off into the woods to do a scouting job by himself, so went to go investigate. Met up with Chime and Dora Lee, walked with them towards the elders and found out a little bit about the information about what happened, and then sent them on to Chamu after saying, well, please, after you talk to the elders, talk to Chamu, and then went off to find Shu. They all gathered back up together, found out that they had found out about the boat information, and then tracked it down that way. Yeah, so I have no growth questions. I do not gain growth. The way my growth thing works, and I will put this up to you, is that when a PC embraces your guidance and comfort, you may shift to experience to declare them a protege. And when I do that, which I did last session, I put their name and one of their principles down. So I put Chamu and leadership down. And it's supposed to be that, when they take the guidance and they shift next to that principle, I clear their name off my list and then gain an advancement. I know that we had, I think it was the same action though last session that shifted Chamu to leadership. So I'm not sure if you want to count that, or if you want to just do it the next time. I'm okay doing it the next time.
Let's go with the next time for that.
Okay.
Just so I can have a little more time to understand exactly.
Yeah. So basically, the way my character works, for those playing along at home, because I'm old and I am already set in my ways, is that I don't gain any, like, there's things we'll learn about cult techniques. I don't gain any of those unless I start shifting towards humility, which is one of my principles. And then the only way my character can grow is by taking others under his wing. So whenever that's just me to experience. So my balancing act is on top of being through normal principles that everyone else is doing, is that I've also got to try to not do, I can't just immediately take everyone as a protege, because that'll slam me all the way to the unbalanced side of experience, and I have to fight my way back to humility, kind of, to get back to center. So
Right.
I am just so I have to, that is my balancing act, because I picked the weird one.
Right. Okay, well, since we've gone through all of that, I wanted to ask, does anyone have any last minute things they want to do in the village? Any, gathering any of supplies, or do you want to talk to any of the elders or any of the townspeople about anything before you guys hop on the bison and head towards the swamp?
I'm probably gonna go talk to the guy at the temple that's healing the spirit. No,
There's no one
we
at the
can't
temple.
go talk.
No, and if you're talking about the member of our squad, he's
Yeah.
injured and is recovering. after
he's recovering.
like, the spirit's hurt, and so is he, kind of situation. So he's somewhere in the town.
All right. I guess I'm gonna kind of leave him in charge of the rest of this squad that isn't coming with us, and tell them to continue doing what they're doing until it's done.
Okay.
I'll wait for further orders, and maybe write a hasty note back to base, letting them know that there's a squad here of men ready to be moved when they need them to be, and that
Okay.
I'm following a lead that supposedly the Shadow Cabal might be in on this, upsetting and awakening spirits. And I'll kind of draw a picture of the sigil that I found, or that was shown to me,
Okay.
and I'll have that sent out before we leave.
All right. Sounds good. Does anybody else have anything else they want to do?
Definitely going to be packed. Like I know that we are rushing because they have like a day, like half a day to a day's head start on us. But Li Shen is going to make sure that there is enough food packed for like a week, so to speak, so that we have enough in the pack to kind of like tide us over if it takes longer to hunt them down.
Okay.
I'm just excited to be heading on to the swamp. We're gonna have a good old time.
You got that sweet tea down there?
We got all kinds of good uns and fixins and such.
Wonderful vittles.
Fixins and such.
I like them craw frogs.
Raw frogs.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's a mental image nobody needs.
Raw frogs.
Raw frogs.
I love it.
Get
They're
you
the
some
jumping lobsters of the swamp. Come on.
delicious.
Dang.
They got good legs and good claws.
They're the best. Sorry.
All right.
I was so close to retirement.
But then we could also see some. We could get some fried cat gator.
So yeah, so is Dora Lee just like telling everybody all about all of the delicacies that they'll be enjoying in the swamp?
So I think she's actually very excited, and she is a natural hostess. So she is a little excited to kind of brag about things, because not a lot of people get to make it down into the swamp, and since y'all are coming with me, it's gonna be quite a time.
I hear they have something very spicy down there.
Oh, if you can't handle y'all spice, you might be in for a whole heap of trouble. Share.
I mean, fire flakes are a delicious, delicious snack. I don't know sugar about them.
He'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just leave the extra on the side.
All right. Does Masaru or Chime have anything they want to do before they leave?
No, I already talked to the elders. I'm
I
good to
guess
go.
I should probably tell the elders that I'm leaving.
Master is definitely going to tell his master that he's leaving. But other than that, he's packing his stuff and he's going to be like excitedly waiting to see to ride on the sky bison. He's never ridden one before. This is going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so in that case, if everyone's done their stuff, Chamu, you sent your letter detailing the mission back to headquarters on a messenger hawk, probably. And that's going to take a while to get back, and maybe you'll hear from them back. Who knows? We'll see. Okay, so
Masaru,
with that...
ask before you pet the bison. Ask first.
Yeah, up to the bison. So Chime, do you want to introduce Trinket to everybody, or
I mean, yeah, if everyone's, popping up, and then, like, I assume we were like, all right, we have to go, And then it half the group went, wait, 1 sec, I gotta go do something first, and then ran off. I was like, okay, what? I thought we were okay.
Bao Bao's just
Masaru
like,
didn't-
sitting on Dorley's shoulder, just like excited.
Yeah, this is pretty full group for a bison. It's a lot
Yeah,
of people.
I'm worried
I
he
mean-
won't be able to carry all of us.
No, she'll be able to carry everybody just fine.
Okay, I worry. Is there like a custom or anything we need to do before boarding this beautiful, magnificent creature of the land?
No, not anything in particular. Not
Should
if
we give it a
you've ridden
treat?
pretty much any animal, you know that those pretty much apply. You know, be nice and kind, and don't just pull out hair.
So we're gonna treat it like a horse and walk up and give it a big old apple.
It's good for me. I get along with most critters, so.
And then I'll get on the sky bison.
All right.
Yep, the hardest
Everyone
part's
gets
probably
some-
literally getting on top.
Yeah, does anyone struggle getting up the bison? Poli, I know you're a little aged. Do you have any issue getting up
I'm
top?
aged, but I'm also the one who's not a bender, so has to rely on his sort of like has to stay in shape in order to do everything. So it is definitely the like tricks the back, but then just scurries up the side.
All right.
I feel like while everybody else was running around like doing stuff, Masaru was like petting the bison and like doing other things. When he climbs up, he's like, "Hey, can I use your tail like a ramp?" He's basically just gonna go running up the tail and like sit in the back, like, "I made it. Let's go."
I imagine Trinket just looking at you with its big eyes and just going.
That's about 90% of what you get out of sky bisons is that noise.
I am imagining that Bao Bao jumps off of Dorley's shoulder as she's like letting herself up with a little bit of water bending because they're by the water, but just jumps right over to Trinket's head and like wants to sit there.
Bow bow on top of Trinket's head. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that picture. I like that picture. That's cute.
Kit, does Trinket have like little spirit charms tied onto her horns? Is that why she's Trinket?
Of course she does. They're protections from evil spirits.
Very cute.
Do you collect them per temple or?
I make sure they're ones that work.
We just gotta find a way to like differentiate in the artwork Trinket from other sky bisons.
Trinket is not the bear from that
He's
other game.
fancy.
Yeah, she's a
All
big
right.
fancy sky bison, and she can lift everybody no problem.
She's fancy and big. She's a big girl, big strong girl.
Go ahead
Great.
and say she probably even got the big saddle, so it's fairly comfortable to ride. In the sense that there's a nice rim around the edge of where you sit, so it's harder to accidentally fall off.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys get on the bison and you head off. Chime does the traditional yip yip sound, and you guys take off. And I'm assuming most of you have never been on a sky bison before.
Nope.
Does anyone have any reaction to being up in the air and flying through the skies?
I think you see Chamu kind of gripping the edge of the saddle for life or death.
What? You don't like being up in the air so incredibly far away from the earth?
No, this is unnatural.
It's the most natural thing.
I'm gonna ask if anybody would be surprised that Masaru is leaning over the edge of the saddle, going, "This is awesome."
No, there's definitely, without even like looking up, I was like, Masaru, hands inside the saddle at all times.
He's
Head
holding
inside-
onto the edge of. He's
Head
holding onto the
inside
edge.
the saddle at all times.
Zora, hands inside the saddle.
Keep your
Um,
arms, head, legs,
Please
whole
keep
body
going.
inside the saddle at all times.
Li Shen, because he's the elder, has absolutely been on a sky bison before. So he has the moment of like he looks out over the over the land, has that like that contented sigh of the long-term traveler of just like this is like like the person who's been on 5 million flights but still sees the beauty above the land as the plane is taking off, and then he pulls out a piece of paper and starts writing a letter.
I don't know how you
Interesting.
can sit here like this. Writing of all things. It's so windy.
Well, actually, if we're going based on the show, it's actually pretty calm. I assume the Sky Bison airbends a nice cone around everything. So
Chamu. Sit down. Look away from the front of the Sky Bison. Let the wind move it to your back, not to your front.
Yes, Master. I mean, yes, Polly.
Yeah, typically, riding a bison can be very calming. That is why if you do ride one, you clear most of your fatigue and any conditions that you have. And the beginning of the ride is pretty calming. You guys are flying through the air, the scenery, the coastline of the Earth Kingdom. This is the area of the Earth Kingdom where there's lots of lush forestry and lots of greenery. It's very beautiful. Suddenly, though, the clouds around you start to darken. Things are getting pretty murky, kind of hard to see, and suddenly, so one of you swears that you felt something zip past your ear.
What's that?
which someone?
I don't know. Anyone who wants to speak up, maybe.
Yeah. What was that? You hear that?
What was that?
It is,
I don't know what's going on.
just the wind, Shamu.
No, this wasn't wind.
Everything
this was
has
a
been
bug.
just the wind, Shamu.
Do these look like storm clouds sort of deal?
They're pretty storm looking, yeah. They started out not too dark, but they're starting to get darker, and there's a lot of wind, a lot of really strong winds starting to pick up.
Then the first instinct is to try and get above. Like, come on, Trinket, pull back and start trying to raise above this.
Yeah, you're trying to do that, but it's the wind current is really just it's hard to navigate. Suddenly there is a large boulder flung past the bison, and it kind of spooks her a little bit. I want everyone to give me does this game allow like normal dice rolls? Yes. Okay. Can everyone roll me? Let's see, how many people do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, can everyone roll a d6 for me?
Oh.
Okay. Boop. 1d6.
Okay.
Goody.
Clock and
both.
yeah, Li Shen and Chamu. I'm gonna. And Grim. Okay.
I mean, you asked for a dice roll. I'm always going to get the worst possible result.
Okay, you know what? We'll work with this, I think.
As they go flying off the Sky Bison. No!
Well, not yet. We haven't fell off the Sky Bison quite yet, but Dora, you shift in your seat a little bit. You have kind of an instinct, and you're not being able to hold on very well. So this happens again, you might be in trouble. And unfortunately, you are having what seems like icicles and even more boulders being thrown at Trinket. So what I'm gonna need from Chime is a push your luck roll to see if you can kind of maneuver around these.
Usually these things don't scare me, pretty much because I always am so brave.
Come on. Hold on a second. Computer doesn't want to be my friend today. Click. Nope, that's
Oh.
bad.
Oh no. Yeah. So
That's why I prefer rely on my skills rather than pushing my luck. It's not a good roll for me.
you've been through a few tough flights, but this one is pretty interesting with all of the wind and also the projectiles being thrown at you. Trinket gets hit by.
I would like to actually see if I can use the help basic move by basically standing up and fire bending some of the icicles. Icicles are being shot at us, so it's like shoot some of the projectiles out of the sky.
Sure.
That means
I
that
will-
I mark a fatigue to push that up from a 6 to a 7, which turns it into a hit.
Okay.
I appreciate.
All right. In that case, nobody falls off just yet. But you hear something from the boat, or what you think might be a boat that's attacking you. You hear it's almost like a very siren-y call, but it's very low. It's a very low frequency, like an ohm. But it's really sort of hypnotizing almost.
Ooh.
I'm
Wow.
going to try and think of a way.
Well, while this is going on, and I will do my best to attempt to yell over the storm. Should I keep trying to get above so we get cloud cover, or do you want to go down?
So it seems like we're being shot at from below, is what you were saying?
I mean,
We are-
rocks and icicles are coming at us from below.
Okay. Do I do the silly thing? Because it's always the fun thing.
Does anyone respond to Sister Chime?
I know. I'm thinking.
Masaru's a little busy because he's shooting some of the rocks to get them to change trajectory and shooting ice. He's
Yeah,
like,
no. Get us up, and I am going to, because this is not going to end any sort of well. Tie a bit of rope to the saddle and lean myself over the side of the sky bison to kind of see what's going on below us.
Holy, that's. Please be careful.
Of.
I can't change his mind.
Can I, since I am a waterbender, can I do anything with these here icicles?
you might be able
You
to bend
can
the storm
try.
clouds. Get us a clear view going down, because storm clouds are made of water.
Do you want to try that?
I would love to give that a shot because pretty much nothing I can't get done.
Okay, I'll let you attempt to try and water bend the clouds to see if you can break them. In that case, I think that's gonna be for you. It's gonna be a push your luck, I think, because you're not really when it comes to actual water bending,
What? I did
you
not
have to
miss
roll
that.
with passion.
Sorry, I messed it up.
How dare.
Oh, that's a miss.
Yeah, Dora, you cannot get a hold of these of the clouds, and actually in your attempt to bend the clouds, you actually misdirect one of the icicles, and it cuts Poli's rope, and he goes falling into the ocean.
No.
No.
Can I at
aim
least-
for the boat?
Can I at least like water bend a little bit so that it isn't like a hard fall? You know, like make like a You know how like divers have like the water break at the top?
I'm gonna have yeah, you can attempt that. I'm also gonna have Poli have you roll a rely on your skills and training, because something tells me you've fallen out of high places before.
Well, can I? Oh, this is stupid. Can I interest you in something else?
Okay. What else you got?
One of my master techniques is draw close, where you dash and dodge in close to the opponent of your choice. Can Poli, as he is falling, because he's a badass, run down the boulders and icicles being shot up at us to the people in the boat?
I would say I like where your mind is growing, but this is technically not combat.
Okay, that is fair.
So I would venture to say that you probably aren't able to do that.
Okay.
But everyone else, Chime especially, someone on your bison has fallen off of it.
And rely on skills and training is harmony? Or what?
Skills and training is let me double check on that.
Focus.
Ah, curses, I don't have that. All right.
Well, you have it. You're just not good at it.
Yes,
one of these moves moved that to harmony? Because I've got a bunch of moves that move shit to harmony, and I gotta learn how to pay attention to it.
You could if you could tell me that this falls under one of your balances, you can mark a fatigue and you can roll with your experience instead. Because you'd be rolling with your balance,
which is would be +2 for experience. Absolutely. Yeah, I will say. Li Shen is falling, and he takes a deep breath, and as he breathes out, we cut to a flashback of him, all sepia tone flashback because he's old. Dropping into like a roiling pit of there's a very big like a giant catfish style spirit that is just causing a bunch of trouble in the water. And he is falling, and he's completely calm and quiet. But Avatar Karuk is falling like 10 feet to his left and is just shit talking him the entire way down. And he's just like puts it out of his mind, takes the deep breath, and then goes into like the pencil dive and hits the water.
I love that. Okay. So I will give this to you since you did you want to roll with your
how do I
experience?
How do I roll with experience? Is there a button I can push, or does not seem to be.
Well, let's do this. Let's so you roll me 2d6s.
Okay. So you roll me 2d6s. And this will be +2 then with my experience.
And 8. Okay, so that's a normal hit. So you rely on your you have to mark a fatigue as well to do that. So they're right underneath your stats area. Okay, cool.
Sorry, it doesn't help that I'm also doing this wearing an eye patch.
Right, yeah, the motor coordination is...
Yeah, for the future, it's the live up to your principle move.
Okay.
For the future, it's the live up to your principle move. The one.
Thank you.
In there.
Anyway, so you dive into the water, and when you breach, you notice a large pirate ship. The masts are silver. It's a decent sized ship, and you see that they're the ones that are tossing the boulders up at the bison.
Is the name of the ship written on the side?
It is called the Silver Wind.
Okay.
It's called the Silver Wind.
So you can go back to everyone else if you want to, but I will say that I'm going to start swimming towards it, trying to board the ship.
Sure.
I'm going to start swimming towards it.
Okay.
I did try to help, and I
That's-
messed up.
That's very fair.
I gave it a good shot.
Polly.
If somebody has fallen off,
Yes,
we gotta go get them
would-
now. So down
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
up.
We
Obviously,
need to go
still
down.
trying to dodge the various attacks.
Absolutely, yeah. Actually,
Would
Um,
my skills and training come into handy to help? Oh, I've forgotten their name. I'm so sorry. Kit.
Sister Chime.
Chime.
Chime. Would it
yeah.
help to be able to help Chime? I guess this is more of a guide. Guide Chime to keep them maneuvered away from the boulders while also getting close enough that we could scoop up Polly.
I mean, the closer you get to the ship, it's going to be harder for you guys to evade all of the onslaught. At least, like, the higher up you are, you're not. You're able to like dodge a little bit more, but when it's when it's up close and more point blank, it gets a little more difficult. I would say that you can probably. How about this? Chime, I would like another push your luck as you try to navigate down through the winds and the onslaught of rocks. And then I'm going to have Chamu, I'm going to have you do a skills and training to see if you can maybe mitigate the amount of damage by bending some of the boulders back. Okay, I'm gonna say that Trinket definitely gets hit a couple times with
No.
the rocks, and you guys kind of
I'm
end up
gonna
getting
go ahead
pushed
and mark
down.
guilty then.
You guys end up getting pushed down further towards the sea, and you can actually see the boat now. It is large and black with these silver sails, and there's a sort of Jolly Roger on it that is what looks like the shape of a skull, but across the top of the skull is a dragon. So I will give you that. And as you guys are coming down, unfortunately, it seems like now there's harpoons and nets, and you guys are getting captured by these pirates.
Now I get why you said my favorite thing is in this episode.
I did. I told Lottie that one of her favorite things is going to be in that I'm working on one of her favorite things in this episode, and she was like, "What does that
Pirates is
mean?"
Animal abuse.
It's pirates.
It's pirates. It's definitely not animal abuse. It's
Could
pirates.
I evade?
I mean, presumably at this point, we're now actually
Yeah.
gonna get into exchanges, unless
I
you're saying
was
they just
looking at-
auto catch us.
I was looking at basic techniques, and there's a
Yeah,
I think
no,
called
I-
evade and observe.
Those
Observe.
that's for the actual once we're in combat
okay.
exchanges.
Yeah, we're
Alright.
not technically in combat yet.
So I guess
I mean, are
Well,
we
luckily-
if they're throwing nets and trying to actively catch us at this point? Would we now be in combat? 'Cause I would prefer not to be captured. I'm going to do my best to not have that happen to me.
That's kind of what, because if they're using nets,
yeah.
those can be set on fire. I'd like to point out, and I am a firebender.
We are also
Yes.
surrounded
Then we're
by.
hit with
okay.
a flaming.
That's fine. You're a firebender. That makes total sense.
Also, it's a wooden ship. I will most definitely set it on fire.
That makes sense.
We're surrounded by water, and that's pretty much my thing.
It is true. You guys do have the possible ability to, even if you are
No.
captured by these pirates.
Now, here's the thing. If it is box text, we are captured because we are overwhelmed, that's perfectly fine too. I just need to let you know that some of their ship will be damaged because Masaru is not going down without a fight.
Yeah, are we box text captured? Because the rolls on that were so bad, we just like hard landed and immediately got netted, or
Okay, I'll give you this. How about this? Instead of getting netted, how about you guys land on the ship, actually. You land right on top of the ship.
Hilarious.
And unfortunately, Trinket seems a little hurt. So I don't know if Trinket's going to be able to get back up into the air super quickly. But yeah, we can kind of get into this, I guess. What time is it? 9:38.
Yeah, before combat, taking a break would probably be smart.
I agree with that. Do we want to take our break now?
Yep, just quickly before we do that, just a reminder to everyone within the sound of my voice. We do have the raffle still ongoing. So get that hashtag spooky snack into the chat. I'll get you down on the list and we'll get that set up. The reward is going to be a box of various goodies. TM, which has been kept secret from us by John, Panajon. I've heard 5 million ways to call him. And that raffle will be drawn on Halloween night during Isabet's Spooktacular Alien One Shot. Once again, that is hashtag spooky snack in the chat. You get to enter twice per stream.
Nice.
As those of us who are playing Alien, this is Isabet's death extravaganza.
Yeah, we are going to die.
Yeah.
it's gonna be great.
We've got a death pool going for us to see who can die first, and it's more of a speedrunning competition now between us.
I mean, at that
I
point,
keep-
it's just me.
No, I want to survive. That's why I'm playing the medic.
I keep trying to convince her to let me play the alien. I'll make sure it's interesting.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Avatar. We're gonna jump into combat here in a minute, but just to remind you guys, if you haven't used your hashtag spooky snack for the second time or even the first time, do it now. Get yourself into that running for Panajon's baked goods. I know from experience that they're delicious. So whatever else comes in that little gift bag, so whatever else comes in that gift bag, I'm sure you will also love.
I also am throwing in a secret surprise that will be in that gift bag. So if you're interested in a secret surprise from Lottie out of the West.
Secret Lottie out of the West surprise. Speaking of secret surprises, you guys have pretty much crash landed onto this pirate ship. There are a bunch of, sort of pirates running around gawking at the fact that there's a bison on their deck. On the deck.
On the dick.
On the dick.
On the dick.
And suddenly you see a sort of hooded figures come up from the area where they have the turning wheel of ships, and he ominously says to you, well, I've been waiting to get another bison. It's been a long journey, but it seems I've finally got one. And he comes out and he takes off his hood and reveals, Chime, you'd be interested to see this. It looks like he has covered up arrow tattoos in the same places that arrows would be. Instead, they're tattoos of a dragon or a serpent of some kind. So it seems like this may be a fallen member of the Air Nomads.
So he got the Air Nomad master tattoos and then covered them up with much cooler dragon tattoos.
Essentially, yeah. So this is Captain Choi Ying, the Wind Howler. He's a stocky male airbender with a commanding presence. He has the arrow that comes up over it's a dragon now, but he has the tattoo that comes up over his head, but he has some hair in the back and a ponytail and a long sort of dark gray and black beard. He is missing a hand, though. In place of his hand is what looks kind of like a two-pronged fork. But it's not pointy. It's blunt at the ends. So yeah, you see him. He's wearing sort of tattered robes that are definitely of Air Nation design, but they're old and tattered and a little more piratey looking.
So what I'm hearing is this is when we all jump ship on the plot of the game and become pirates, right?
Ho ho ho, yo ho ho,
yo ho ho ho. Next to him is another more slender figure. This person is known as Fen. They are a rogue. They are also a rogue airbender. They have sort of the same tattoos that Choi Ying has, but they are a woman. She's basically the ship's navigator. She uses her airbending to help control the ship and how it moves through the water. And then on the deck with you now is also Bo Quinn the Cannon. He's an earthbender. He's in charge of operating the cannons, and by cannons, that just means a bunch of rocks that get thrown at you. So there are three pretty big bad guys, and a couple just random things of pirates kind of surrounding you guys. And we're gonna jump into combat here.
Oh my goodness.
And the way combat works is basically everybody chooses something that they are going to do. So your choices are defend and maneuver, advance and attack, and evade and observe. So I'm going to give you guys a second to figure out what you want to do in terms of those things. And I'll choose what the NPCs are going to do, and then you guys can start throwing punches, unless anybody wants to use the power of friendship and try to get out of this. I also, while you guys are thinking about what you want to do, maybe we can sort of tie back to Li Shen, who is attempting to climb the side of the ship.
He's done swimming and has begun climbing.
Yeah, I was about to say. So yeah, like, am I able to find rigging and climb up? Is there a role for that, or is it just me climbing up the ship and then poking my head up and going,
There is not a role for it. I assume that the side of the ship would have rigging on it. You can choose to go up to the deck, or you can probably choose to be a little more sneaky about it, maybe go through the lower areas of the ship as well.
Yeah. I think Poe definitely would do that. Okay, especially if he's coming down. If the captain is jumping off the foredeck where the helm is, usually
Thank you.
no problem. Usually there's like the captain quarters right below that, and like an entranceway down below in most ships, or at least most ships that follow the traditional. When you picture a pirate ship, this is a pirate ship. So he'd probably try to get into one of the portholes and then try to come up, because that'll bring him up right behind them. So that's what he's trying to do. Seeds, we'll find out, but he's trying to make his way there.
Okay. Sure. Do we want to go through and everyone tells me what their thoughts and plans are?
Well, I think the way the phases in combat works, we're actually supposed to discuss that as a group, what our characters are planning on doing.
I
Yeah,
think
discuss it.
that first off, though, I think Dora would try to be like, "Listen, sir, I don't think you understand what you're trying to do here. This Sky Bison don't belong to you." She would just
Do you
throw it
think
up.
that's going to work?
She's very sheltered. She's like an Amish person
no,
that just like
You're right. I just love it the fact that like it's you like Dora Lee and Chime have the same level of naivete. It's just that like one of you has the introvert switch, the other has the extrovert switch. It's the same exact like thought process of everyone should just be able to be all harmonious, live together, and do the right thing and help people out. It's just that one of you is so much louder about it than the other.
Yeah.
she's like, "This here Sky Bison belongs to my good friend. I don't think you understand. This does not belong to you."
It definitely doesn't.
See, I'm just trying to help everybody in the situation. I think that we can get through this and maybe just keep on keeping on.
Gonna make that
Wow.
lead roll.
Quite a.
I just had to do it. I feel like
I totally for sure. You may be right that this bison does not belong to me. However, young lady, you'd be quite surprised at the amount of money folks are willing to pay for one of these specimen.
I bet.
Here,
are.
sir, ain't nobody ever called me no lady. So I don't know if you know that you're talking to the right kind of person, but I don't know nothing about no money and how this much money this here Sky Bison take, but I know that it's very important to my friend here. So I'm hoping that you can understand that.
Well, if you're so intrigued on keeping your bison and keeping your lives, why not try and best me and my crew in combat?
I feared this. I think we have no choice. And he's going to attempt to bolster the group.
All right.
And he's going to take a defensive position.
So,
So your reason you're going with defend?
I guess technically I'm going with a evade and observe with the
Yeah,
bolster.
because that's a bolsters under the evade and observe approach.
I see
So-
it. Yes,
Yep.
I see. Okay.
I guess
I'm going with-
the only other thing I
Is
can do
anybody
is
doing? Is anybody defending or maneuvering?
I'm planning
am.
on using defend and
Maneuvering.
maneuver.
Okay. In that
What-
case, were you going to say something?
I was gonna say, so sounds like 3 of us are going to defend and maneuver, 1 evade and observe. Is Poli part of this, or is he?
Oli is currently not in combat. No.
Okay, then never mind. Okay,
Yeah,
If you
he's-
I could
He's
advance
going on
it
an adventure.
he's doing his own thing. He's having an old man adventure.
his own thing. I could advance an attack. I do got some. I got a one that could actually work pretty good in this situation.
Yeah, in Masaru's mind, the only way they get out of this without having to literally take down an entire pirate crew is to ensure that Trinket can get back in the sky. So his entire position is to cover Trinket until the bison is steady enough to be able to take flight again.
Okay. In that case, I guess we'll start with the defend and maneuvers. Anyone want to go first?
Well, what are our enemies doing? Because we get to find out what stances they took.
That is true.
Combat is this combat is very, very structured, which I kind of like. Which means it's actually real easy to make sure everybody's on the same page. I'm trying to pull up I've been trying to pull up the combat from the PDF copy of the book I have, but it's taking a minute.
We'll have to make ourselves some cheat sheets.
Well, I do have a cheat sheet in front of me from the book itself. So the first step is obviously I decide what the people are going to do. I keep that secret for now, and then the players, each PC exchanges. Each player of a PC in the exchange chooses an approach for their character. If multiple players have PCs in the exchange, they can talk and coordinate. Their choices can be public, but if the PC opposes each other, they keep their choices secret and reveal the next step. But none of you guys are opposing each other. You're all together, so you guys can talk about what you want to do in that sense. I reveal what they've chosen, what I've chosen for each NPC. And I think I have a generic pirates, and they are going to be advancing and attacking, because that's pretty much what they do. For the captain, he is going to evade and observe. Gale is going to say defend and maneuver. And the cannon, Bo Quinn, will be also advancing and attacking. Should write this down.
Seems like
Yeah,
a good
probably.
idea. Now, the one thing I want to find out is who's engaged with who, because that does matter for some of our techniques.
I think that the pirates sort of act as a group, so they're going to be targeting one of you specifically. Let's go with, since Dora Lee was the one who spoke up and is being very actively against the captain, maybe I'm going to say they're going to probably go after her.
Dang. My plan backfired.
Priscilla?
Dang.
Okay, so and then who did I say was defending and maneuvering? Jesus Christ, I'm sorry.
Second name person. The
Yes.
captain's
Gale.
evading.
Yes,
yeah.
Gale is
Navigator.
heirs. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Cannon is attacking.
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to. I go first. All combatants who chose defend and maneuver resolve their approach. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that Gale is noticing that you, Masaru, are protecting the bison, and I think she has the idea that she wants to capture the bison for the captain. So I think she might try and engage with you in that scenario.
Works for me.
And then who else on the players is defending?
Sister Chime is.
And
So I think she might.
and Dorley.
I decided to defend. I thought you were going to attack.
Oh, never mind. I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna use crushing grip of the Says. Never mind.
And then who else on the players is defending? All right, I just want to state for the record, have not played this game too much, so this might be a little clunky, but that's okay. I wanted to get through this at least one time so that we could worry about that in general. So
We're all learning together.
that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
All right, so those of us defending should roll our defend to see what we can do, right?
Yes.
All right. Click the thing. Oh, I got an 11. Yeah.
Mine rolled twice. I'm getting a new mouse because mine's fucking up. But my first one was a 10. My second one was a 13. So, I mean, we're good.
You hit for sure. Okay.
PCs choose their techniques first, and then NPCs choose their techniques. since I got an 11, I am going to spend a fatigue so that I can use my learn technique. Choose techniques first, and then doot. Choose their techniques. Twisting wind. Make that practice. Doot. That'll be more relevant as things go on. As that will be relevant when the advance and attack set of things occur.
Right. I got a full hit, which means I get to choose two. I get to choose two master techniques, which I have two of them that are defended maneuver. So I'm going to go ahead and choose steady stance. Right. I got a full hit, which means how do I link steady stance? Steady stance is useful because my opponent chose advance and attack. So that means that the foe who engaged me, who chose advance and attack, must mark 1 fatigue. Steady stance is useful because my opponent chose advance and attack. And then I'm going to choose my other maneuver, my other defended maneuver, the skill that he was required to master by his teacher. Suck it up. And then I'm going to choose my
what does suck it up do?
So I focus and absorb a blow, readying yourself to act immediately after. For each attack that inflicts fatigue condition or balance shifts on you this exchange, you choose 1 additional technique next exchange. Even if you roll a miss on the stance move. By the way, with steady stance, if I get no conditions or negative statuses, next exchange I become empowered.
Okay, I am okay, I'm a little confused with the roll 20.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am hitting the move, but it's only just giving me a description of the move.
I think you have to click on the basic technique that's attached to it. To
The NPC sheets do not have those. So they don't. The NPC sheets don't have like stats that I can like do. So I'm assuming that I just can do them. I tried to do as much research on this as possible today, and suddenly I feel like I'm floundering. Okay.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah, NPCs generally do their techniques.
Okay, good.
The sheets are very basic because they're meant to be something you can just, I randomly need a guard. I need to know their drive.
Yeah.
I need to know their principle, their conditions, how much fatigue they have, and then what techniques they have. Boom, 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 boom. So that way you can plow out NPCs in a matter of seconds.
With Powered by the Apocalypse, the GM doesn't typically roll; they just do. So,
Yes, you're right. You're totally right.
So that's probably why it's doing that.
You are okay. So let's go with Masaru and Gale then. They both or I said with her that she's going to advance an attack, cast forth a thin cutting edge of wind that can pierce wood, stone, mark 1 fatigue. Your target must avoid the blow by marking 3 fatigue, or take the hit, marking a condition and allowing physical objects on them, armor or whatever, to be cut. If there are no physical armor to help absorb the blow, they take the hit and mark a second condition. Ooh.
Well, lucky for me, steady stance allows me to negate the first condition or negative status effect inflicted upon you this exchange. So I'm not going to mark the 3 fatigue. I'm going to let it mark a negative. I'm going to let it mark a condition, which I'm going to ignore.
Sounds good.
So Masaru basically tanks the hit.
Doesn't it? Toei, doesn't it mark 2 conditions then if you don't have any armor or anything like that?
I'll read it again. Mark one fatigue. I mark 1 fatigue. Boom.
You have to also mark 1 for my steady stance.
Yes, I have one already for that. Your target must avoid the blow, marking 3 fatigue, or take the hit. marking a condition and allowing physical objects on them, armor or weapon or whatever, to be cut. If they have no physical objects to help absorb the blow, then they take the hit. They mark a second condition. If they avoid the blow, then treat it as if you had smash against the environment behind or around them.
Yeah, so I get to ignore one of the conditions, and then I have to mark a second one because Masaru's not wearing armor or wielding a weapon. Which is perfectly fine. That just means I don't have to worry about marking two conditions.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to mark... I'm going to mark afraid because... Holy crap. We're surrounded. This is not a good situation.
Is this the first like actual fight Master has been in?
He's been in fights, but never like...
He hasn't been in battle.
He hasn't been in a mass battle before. He's been in fights.
Okay.
But this is the first, because they're, this is a pirate crew. We got attacked. Now they're trying to kill us, and like, holy crap, there's so many of them.
Who else was defending? Was that Chime?
Yes, Chime was also different.
What was Chime doing? Twisting Wind?
Yeah, I used Twisting Wind.
For each foe engaged with you who chose advance and attack approach, clear 1 fatigue and hold 1 momentum. If you advance and attack next exchange, you may spend a momentum instead of fatigue. Okay, sounds good. Who else was doing defend and maneuver?
That was it.
Just the
we
two
have
of
a
you?
person. Yeah, because
Okay.
Dora is using it attack, and then our last is on evade.
Yep.
All right. Dora, you're attacking these pirates.
Yes, I am. Because they weren't being very nice. I gave them the opportunity to be nice. So I'm going to use Crushing Grip of the Seas.
Gotta roll
Okay.
your advanced and attack and see how you do.
All right. Boop. Oh, I got to miss.
If I remember correctly, you can mark a condition to use something anyway.
I kind of want to do that because I want to mark a condition to do something anyway.
What does your move say?
My move says throw a tendril of water that wraps around a foe's limb and holds it in place. Mark 1 fatigue and inflict impaired on a foe. Mark an additional 2 fatigue to inflict trapped on that foe.
Oh, I'm sorry. It isn't mark a condition. It's move your balance away from center.
Okay.
My bad.
I will
but
do that.
If you do that, you can only use one of the basic techniques. You won't be able to use Crushing Grip of the Seas.
Okay.
That's an advanced technique.
Okay.
So advance and attack would be strike, pressure, or smash.
I could do that. I could strike. I just want to strike one of their arms. Boop. But Captain, I'm mad at him.
You're attacking. The captain's not engaging with you. It's just.
Oh, I thought he was. Sorry, I misunderstood.
No, you're getting attacked by the general pirates.
Okay, then I will. I want to strike one of them. I want to smack him in the face.
All right. So there's I posted strike in the in the Roll20 chat. So you get to make a choice.
Oh,
Go and
okay.
reach, force them to mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift their balance away from center. Their choice. Mark 1 fatigue to instead choose to hammer them with your blows, forcing them to mark 2 fatigue, or strike with their weak, inflicting a condition.
I'm gonna force them to mark 2 fatigue.
All right, sounds good. So you have to mark 1 fatigue yourself.
Boop.
Okay. Next person that's attacking is the cannon. And we'll say he's going to use his move Earth Gauntlet. mark 1 fatigue, inflict 1 condition or 2 fatigue. You can also knock your foe out of reach and disengage, but I don't think he's going to do that. So I'm going to mark a fatigue, and I'm going to send this on. We'll say it's going to. We'll say they're going. I guess they'll also attempt to attack Dora, since she's also an attacking.
Typically, it lines up 1 for 1.
1 for 1. Okay, I'll go for.
Nobody's going after Sister Chime
That's true.
or Chamu.
Chamu was my first choice, actually. So
Okay.
I'll go for against Chamu. I'll say you mark 2 fatigue.
I say I slide around the blow.
You have to.
You have to
roll your evade and observe.
Yes.
You move perfectly, right? Pose. Yep. Engage. Where was I? I was reading it. It's
Right.
Okay.
I know what your technique does.
yeah.
You still
Or
have to
just
make
like
your stance roll, which is your evade and observe roll.
Right. Which isn't my turn at the moment, right?
Well,
it is now because you're getting attacked, and all of the other advanced and attack people have gone.
Okay. Then yeah, I evade. I'm just trying to make sure I don't need to burn anything.
No, evade and observe lets you clear 1 fatigue, and then you get to choose to roll
Which I
with
don't
either
have.
harmony or creativity.
Creativity, because I have a -1 in harmony. I just need to click this. Yes. And then, yeah, nope. Go back. Submit. Miss. Cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're gonna get hit with that, I think. So that is 2 fatigue onto you. Okay, I'm getting the grip now that we've gone through a.
Okay. Well, he does still have the option to do the same thing Dorley did, which is mark a move his balance to use one of the basic techniques.
Such as
Does
bolster.
So here's a curious question: does the slide around the
That's an advanced
around the
technique.
blow?
You cannot use that one now.
Right. No. So what I was getting at, not that I can use it, but does its effect, because I try to use it, continue?
No. You don't even get
Because
to
I
use it
missed?
because you
Because I
failed your
missed.
stance roll.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I was just double checking, because sometimes you can make a move like that and it will continue anyways into
Right.
the next
Yeah.
exchange.
The
With this, the
exception.
way it works is your stance roll determines what techniques you can activate. You technically didn't activate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was right, because I missed.
Right. The exception is you can shift your balance in any direction you choose to use one of the basic techniques, even though you failed, because they're basic techniques. These are things that you technically mastered during your training, because so many people in the Avatar world are trained to fight.
Okay. I think then, with that in mind, I will. So I spend a fatigue or shift my balance?
You shift your balance.
I'm going to shift my balance back to 0.
Excuse me.
And then you get to pick
Towards
one of the
support.
evade and observe basic techniques and use
no,
that.
Sorry, it's shift away from your center. So if you
Shift away
already,
from
if you weren't already on 0, you move further away from it. So you would go to
Right.
+2 of whatever direction you were at if you want to do
Okay. So then that's leader 2. Let me move this handy little
Well,
tracker.
you don't know. You don't have to move. You don't have to move that thing. That determines where your center is. So if you have your center set at 0,
Yeah.
then when you reset your balance, then that's where it will go. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the red diamond is where your
Yeah,
center is now. If you notice to the left and right of your 2 balances, there's an arrow.
Yeah.
if you click that arrow, it'll move that blue diamond. That'll
what I
tell
was
you where you
noticing.
currently stand. Yeah, that's where where your
Okay.
current thing is. You don't move the red diamond unless your actual center shifts.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Then I'll and then I get to do basic technique, but out of the evade and observe.
Correct.
God, what is test balance?
Mark,
I actually linked that one on accident.
Oh,
test
Mark 1
balance,
fatigue
Mark 1
to
fatigue
challenge.
Oh, sorry.
And then engagement. Okay. No. I didn't realize you were reading it because I started reading it out loud as well. My apologies.
That's okay.
Past.
Test balance. Mark 1 fatigue to challenge an engaged foe's balance. Ask what their principle is. They must answer honestly. If you already know their principle, instead shift their balance away from center by questioning or challenging their beliefs or perspectives. So the only one that you really can ask that to, no, Grim, you just
No.
sent in the chat. Thank you so much for jumping in. Honestly, very helpful.
Thank you.
Very, very helpful. Doing that.
Yeah, I don't want to steal your thunder because, I actually took the time to read the combat section several times yesterday to refresh my memory. So that's why I'm like, here's how you do things, because I was like, I know this is your first time running a game and I have a lot of experience. So it's like, let me take some of it off your hands so you can concentrate on what the NPCs are doing.
Yes,
if I'm doing all of the extra stuff.
All right. So are you testing? What is your basic move that you're doing?
I think I'm going to go with bolster and hinder now that I know what those three do. As you can see, I've put them in the chat now for us. I don't know.
Aid or impede a nearby character, inflicting an appropriate status. What are you thinking about doing for that?
So it says nearby character. Does that include my team?
I would say it does. Yeah.
Except for probably Li Shen, because he's not visible.
Yeah. So
I'm just rifling through their cupboards, finding myself a cup of tea. I'll get up there eventually.
Ooh, a barnacle.
And does it count for the guys on the ship that we're attacking? So like hinder and whatnot.
Yeah.
I would. This is entirely up to the GM which characters are appropriate. As far as I'm concerned, appropriate would be any of us who are in combat with you as allies and the person you're engaged with, because those are the only people who care about you during the combat.
Well, then I'm going to.
It's entirely up to the GM though if anybody else qualifies.
I'm then just going to try to hinder the gentleman I'm currently going blow to blow with.
So the statuses are in the upper right corner of the character sheet. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can link them here.
Ooh, impaired, trapped.
I don't think doomed is appropriate.
But impaired would be, because that's kind of what I was initially trying to do.
I think impaired or stunned.
Maybe stunned would be nice. Yeah, stunned. Let's try to stun him. Let's
Stun
add
him. Stunning on them.
the stun on him.
Stunning them.
Okay. So if Bo Quinn is stunned, he's caught off guard. I won't be able to act or respond for a few seconds until I steady myself. And then we have one more person to do, and that is the captain, who was doing evade and observe, which was stunning stance. After being struck, keep your stance and momentum and return a blast of wind at your attacker. Nobody decided to attack the captain, so or shift or balance shift upon you with a blow of this exchange. Mark 1 for team stunned on them. Well, no one attacked me, so I'm going to say we end this round of combat. And while everyone decides what they want to do next, we will venture to Li Shen as he climbs into the bottom of the ship, and Pulley, it looks like you are in sort of like a brig area. There's bars and chains and things like that. You're not in one of the passages yourself, but you are in sort of like where that area is, and you notice there is a person sitting in one of the cells, and they're wearing some purple garb.
Do they have a symbol on them, or is there a torn section that looks vaguely like a piece of cloth I've seen earlier today?
I would say that they might be wearing something very similar to some things that you have probably seen earlier in the day.
Do they look like freshly roughed up? Or is it something like they've been sitting there for a bit?
They seem to, I mean, they're kind of rough. It's not like they're really like in the greatest of steads. They are sort of rough. It seems like they've probably been there for a while. Not too long, but definitely at least a few days.
So he'll just calmly approach and like lower himself a bit, like probably just going like crisscross and looking into them and saying, "So your friends left you behind?"
She's gonna kind of look up at you. She's a younger woman, probably early 20s ish. She has long, dark hair and green eyes. And yeah, you can tell from her clothes they're a little tattered. She kind of gives you a look up and down, and she's like, "You're not one of the pirates. Are you here to rescue me?"
Were you left behind before or after the time?
I never got to the temple. Wait, how do you know about the temple?
We'll talk on that later. Sit tight. And I stand up and I leave.
Okay. Awesome. Where are you headed? Are you headed up to the
yeah,
deck?
I mean, I think by the time I was climbing up, I saw Trinket falling. So it's I know a scuffle is occurring. So to use the Doraleism, so I will head up to make sure my wayward children have not bitten off more than they can chew.
All right, sounds good. Would you say that you officially join in the combat then? Or
I will say one thing. As I am leaving, I am going to scoop the if and you can correct me if they're wrong. They have the standard like keys are hanging by the entranceway to the brigs and everything like that. I'm going to scoop them up and pocket them, just so that we have the key out, not the pirates.
I will, just to make this a roll, because I feel like that should probably be a roll. I'd like you to roll your check your surroundings or assess the situation, which is your focus, I think, maybe. Oh, creativity.
Creativity. I mean, it's all 0 except for harmony. So, hey.
Okay, a 9. If it was a 10 plus, I think I probably would have given you that the keys were just lying there, and you could have given them
That's
to
fair.
her. But for just a regular hit, I will say that you notice a guard who is seemingly not paying attention down the hallway that has them on him.
That's so yeah, I will say no, I don't want to. I want to be there for the rest of the crew or the rest of the team.
I will
so.
say if you roll like one of your, if you roll like a if you roll a basic move of just rely on your skills and training, I would say that you are experienced enough in splinter selling somebody and coming up behind them and submersing them.
That's focus for Alliance Skills Trainer.
It is focus, yes. Unless you do want to use your balance again. It's up to you. If you don't want to do that, you just
quick question:
wanna...
if I do this roll, does that preclude me from another round of combat, or is that in addition to?
No, I'm just saying that you do this as you're going up to the deck.
Then yeah, I'll burn the fatigue and I'll roll it. It's to test. Live up to your principle.
Yes.
That just is all right. So I guess I'm just doing the roll, the 2D.
Yeah, I would say just do it with the 2 die.
I think you actually have to click on the name to get it to roll.
I clicked on that first and nothing happened. So either.
Odd.
I think
all the rest of them.
I think your character sheet has stolen my ability to click on the name.
No, I can't do it either.
Considering that you get 2 of them when you do it. So it's 11.
That's a full hit. So you do take the guard out, and pick up the keys, and you toss them to the woman in the cell.
No. Sorry. Everything's fine to that last part. She's not getting the keys. Li Shen is getting the keys.
He's keeping them.
I'm making sure that while I'm helping everyone upstairs, that she either doesn't con or find a way to get the keys and get out of the cell. I want to make sure that the keys are in our possession.
All right.
But yes, then I will move up and join the fray.
Sounds good. All right, let's go. Now, this is also, if you guys want to, we can continue with combat, or you have the opportunity to try and leave this situation.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna let us. They were very clear about that.
Yeah, I tried to talk some sense into them, but they ain't listening.
I mean, you could attempt to do that again. You could use some of your other roles to try and see if you can push these people to listen to what you have to say. But those are probably going to be really high rolls for you.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna take a ready position and defend my spot.
Okay.
His turn.
Let me check something real quick.
Is anyone trying something other than continuing the combat? Because otherwise, we just go into the next set of exchange.
Listen, I tried to do it the good way, quote unquote, to start off, and it did not do me a damn thing.
Oops. Sorry.
My ability to roll my harmony to intimidate, aka be a badass super intimidator of doom, only is when I am protecting the vulnerable or weak. And I don't know if you guys count as vulnerable or weak, so.
All right.
I mean, they are they are right now pretty overwhelmed. Okay, in that case, if we're continuing with combat, then I would like to know who wants to defend and maneuver.
Sister Chime will do defend and maneuver again.
Okay.
As will Chamu.
Sister Chime will do defend and maneuver again.
Chamu.
As will Chamu.
Masaru's going to evade and observe. Now that he's got an enemy he's exchanged with, he wants to study them a little bit before going on the offensive.
Li Shen is also going to evade and observe. I have one of my mastered moves that lets me gain prepared when I do that, and then do an advanced and attack technique as part of it. So
Neat.
Okay.
yeah, it's called
Okay.
patience. So it's
What is Dora doing?
Dora is gonna she's gonna try to attack again.
Attack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna say that the pirates, the general pirates, are going to attack again. I'm going to say that the captain, since no one attacked him, I think maybe he's gonna jump into the fray this time.
I will say this because I'm moving my evade and observe into basically an advance and attack. I'm not sure I have to declare it now. I do plan to attack the captain.
No.
If that is the thing that happens or not.
If your move is part of evade and observe, it happens
Okay.
during that
Gotcha.
section.
Mhm.
If your move is part of evade and observe, it happens during that.
Yeah, the captain is going to attack. Yeah, the captain is going to attack. Gale is going to say defend. And the cannon is going to
So I have a question. Where does the stun come in? Because one of the things you can do with it is you can have him sit out this exchange because he's trying to get his head back on straight.
Oh, right. Then I guess he kind of sits this one out. I'll have him take a
Take a knee.
round to do that.
Hey,
So
Masaru,
he's kind of open.
Yes.
you have an advance and attack you'd like to be using this turn as well. Because part of my thing is I might be able to get a companion that as well if I spend extra.
Let's put it this way. My advance and attack is lightning bolts.
Yeah, well,
I think that's a yes. Is your question?
I was setting myself up this turn to be able to lightning blast on the next turn.
okay. Because yeah, if I can pull off patience, part of it is I can spend 1 fatigue to let me do an advanced attack, and I can spend 2 fatigue to let a companion also do an advanced attack.
Very.
All right, let's start with all of our defenders. So if you guys want to roll for me and tell me what you do.
Ooh, I got an 8.
All right. We got
Coming
2
in
hits
as
on the
well.
board. These
Oh,
are regular hits, so your options are a mastered technique or a basic technique.
Cool. I'm gonna
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh. Well, Rochambeau?
It's fine. Go ahead. And go.
No, Chime will definitely cede the initiative. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, go ahead, Chime.
Fine. I just so this will stop. I'm doing Wall of Perfection
Oh, beautiful.
as I create a wind dome around us, basically to prevent further attacks. If I could figure out how to consistently link it, I would show everyone. But basically, it means I'll be able to mark fatigue to stop attacks. As I create a perfect wall of defense around myself and any allies directly next to me. I don't think any of us have really moved, so
We're all pretty close.
yeah. So I have shielded us with a
All right.
dome of wind.
Sounds good. To block a single attack towards the wall or keep the enemy at bay who tries to penetrate the wall. Okay. And then Chamu, what are you using?
I'm gonna step forward up to this captain and use detect the heavy step, which allows me to be prepared and at any time during the current exchange, spend a fatigue and block their attack, causing them to take 3 fatigue or disrupt their attack altogether. Canceling the technique.
You want to use detect the heavy step?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is a learned technique for you, you have to hit a 10 plus to use that.
Oh, okay.
So you can only use ones that you've mastered or a general move.
All right. Well, I don't have anything in the defender maneuver for mastered, so a general move then of ready.
All right, ready. Mark 1 fatigue to ready yourself or your environment. Assigning clearly fictionally appropriate statuses to nearby characters or yourself. What are you doing specifically to get yourself ready?
I'm taking a better, more balanced stance. I'm centering myself, and I'm keeping my focus on the people who are attacking me, and not this guy I've stunned.
Okay. It also sounded like you were heading up towards the captain, so I'm actually gonna go straight to him, and he is going to use his
If we're in the
attack.
advanced, are we at the advanced and attack section? Because
Yeah,
PCs get to pick techniques first.
Everyone who's defended has gone. Oh wait, except for my person. Okay, Gale is using air swipe, defend and maneuver, prepare to cast an arc of pressure at air, knock away incoming attacks, and throw enemies off balance. If an enemy attacks you, you may mark 1 fatigue and cast the arc and block and divert the strike. If an enemy has attacked you by the end of the exchange, you may cast and inflict 2 fatigue on up to 3 enemies. I suppose I should wait to see if anyone does attempt to attack me. To do that.
Well, you declare the maneuver now during defend and maneuver.
Yes.
And then we move into advance and attack. We only have the one attacker. So
Yes, Dora is the one attacking.
Yes, I am attacking.
you got to make your attack roll. See that passion.
I got a hit.
Yes.
All right. So again, you have the option between a mastered technique and one of the basic ones.
I want to do my crushing grip of the seas.
Where is your character sheet? Donde está? There it is. Again, crushing grip of the sea is a learned technique, so you need to hit a 10 plus in order to do that.
Oh,
And
I
you hit a
messed up.
7. So I need you to pick one of the.
I keep getting
regular-
excited, and I'm like,
You just
I need
love
you to pick
saying
either
crushing grip of the
strike,
sea.
I know,
pressure, or
it feels so
smash.
cool. Okay, well, here we go. We're going to do smash.
Okay, mark 1 fatigue to destroy or destabilize something in the environment, possibly inflicting or overcoming a fictionally appropriate positive or negative status. What
What
are
you
you
smashing?
attempting to smash?
I wanted to smash something on the ship that would mess with its maneuverability.
Okay.
Would you like a fun suggestion?
I would love a fun suggestion.
Boats with holes in them don't have a great time of anything.
Yeah, that sounds...
No, there's someone in a cage downstairs.
We don't know that.
I know.
Sure. Do you want to
Creating
maybe use your water bending to maybe try and rock the boat a little bit?
Yeah, I'm gonna rock the boat. Let's rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby.
All right. I would say that probably.
Impaired?
Yeah, I think maybe impaired would work for that for sure.
I want everybody to be a little woo woo woo.
I think maybe impaired would work for that for sure.
I want everybody to be a little woo woo woo.
All right. So impaired, because this is affecting the whole boat, I'm going to say this probably affects everybody.
Sorry.
So being impaired, slowed or off balance, mark 1 fatigue or take -2 to all physical actions. So,
I'm the only one taking physical actions.
Actually, combat is physical actions.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So anything that kind of happens, right during this exchange is going to.
Bending still has kung fu elements. We still have to do stuff.
Okay.
All right. So that's Dora. She attacks and does that. Next is the pirates. They're going to attack again. This time they're going to do their focused fire again. The group pours out attack simultaneously, synchronized fashion against the same target. Mark 1 fatigue to inflict 2 fatigue and a condition. Well, I will say this. The minor pirate NPCs are currently full in fatigue. So if someone decides to touch one of them with their pinky, they might just fall over. So, but because of Chime's block, I believe I don't really get to do anything, huh?
Yeah, if I spend the 1 fatigue, I basically block the attack. Just does not. It does not happen.
That makes sense. Okay.
And I
Great.
will in fact do that because I like my
That's
friends,
awesome.
and also everything's very scary right now.
Yes. Okay, next is the captain. The captain is going to use his Breath of the Wind technique on
Good.
you, Mr. Chamu.
Mhm.
He exhales mightily via pursed lips, mark 1 fatigue to knock down a single target, inflict stunned on them unless they mark 4 fatigue.
Damn.
I don't have 4 fatigue, so
Yes,
stunned.
you are stunned, sir.
Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. Because literally, Li Shen is walking up onto the deck as you get knocked over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Gale was defend, and then the cannon. No one attacked the cannon, even though they were prone. All right. Now we're doing evade. Oh, okay, we're doing evades now. We're not done yet.
Yep. That's time to
Masaru,
evade.
you are our first evade person.
Hooray! I get to clear fatigue. Yay! I'm gonna roll with harmony because my creativity sucks.
Not a particularly creative young man.
Hey, I got a hit.
All right. Are you using a specific technique?
Well, I get to do 2 things. Number 1, I took a condition last combat.
Yes.
By the way, even with the -2 from impaired, which I forgot to add, I still get a hit, which is a 7. So I get to use a basic technique for evade and observe. I'm going to choose bolster or hinder. Essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hinder my opponents. And I'm going to inflict impaired. Well, they already have impaired, right?
Yeah, everybody's got impaired right now.
Doomed is inappropriate. Trapped is inappropriate. So stunned. as they're basically stuck with Masaru, who's like in the stance, looks like he was ready to fight, then he's all like dodge, dodge, dodge. And because of my suck it up maneuver, I took a condition last time. I get to use a technique no matter what. I'm going to spend a fatigue to go ahead and use my jet stepping. Because I get to break the rules because of one of my master techniques.
All right. So you hit. So you jet step. Where are you going?
He's literally jumping up onto the saddle, so that he's got like, so that she looks like she's got the open to attack the bison, but he's very obviously preparing to do something. The good thing is, well, she could mark 2 fatigue to stop me from doing this.
She can. I was just curious as to what you were attempting to do.
Yeah, if she stops me, I'm still engaged. I'm still. I won't be able to move to my high ground position, which is essentially what he's doing. He's taking the high ground to be able to use his fire bending from a very advantageous position, and it's very obvious he's a firebender now, so he's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, I'll say that she's going to take the 2 fatigue to stop you from doing that. So she'll probably engage with you as you're trying to leave, and you guys might have a few blows of bending. And
in terms of fiction, it makes sense why she's stunned afterwards, because she makes the quick step to stop him, and he can't jet away, but he does manage to get a lucky blow that basically rocks her head for a minute.
Yeah.
So I don't sadly get favored and prepared, which was going to be amazing, but I can now at the end of this combat move jet stepping from learned to practiced because I cheated.
So when I click on evade and observe, does it make me choose between creative and harmony? Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
It should.
It did, because I just used it.
There we go. Harmony.
Ooh. All right. What are you doing, Poli?
So I gain the prepared because I'm taking the patience. So I mark back the fatigue I got to clear on evade and observe. So wait until the I'll send patience real quick. It's not letting me send it. Screw it. You wait until the perfect moment to act. Mark 1 fatigue to gain prepared, and use an advanced and attack technique, paying all costs as normal. Mark another fatigue to allow a companion engaged with the same foe. Oh, okay, so it's gonna be the same foe. Never mind, Masaru, I'm not giving you lightning bolt yet. So I'm going to use the other. I'm going to mark another fatigue to use draw close. Dashing dodge to close an opponent. Putting them in a range that favors you over them. Mark 1 fatigue and become favored. If they advance and attack next exchange, they have to mark 1 fatigue for each technique they use. They may choose to use fewer techniques than the full amount. And so I'm doing that to the captain. So I'm now favored over the captain. Oh, no, sorry, I'm going to click that. And I am prepared.
Okay. I don't have any evades for any of my characters, so I believe we move on to the next round. So you used draw close?
I did.
No. Okay, yeah.
I used draw close as well as patience. I could use them both because patience changes into the next one.
I would have to mark 1 fatigue for each technique that I use, and that's for the captain. Okay.
Yeah, and literally it is like him running up onto the deck, seeing what's happening, and then running up, sword at the captain's throat, and like stepping in front of. I think his captain did just knock over Chamu. It's like stepping between Chamu and the captain.
Sword in hand. All right. Next round. What does everyone want to do?
Evade and observe for Sister Chime.
I'm stunned, aren't I? I can't do anything.
Stunned.
Unless it runs out.
Yeah, no, you're stunned. Okay.
Yep. I'm stunned.
I think I'm actually gonna try, and I'm just gonna attack again because you said some of these guys, if I just poof them, they'll fall over.
If you attack the regular pirates again, they have to mark a condition, and they only have 1 condition slot and 3 fatigue. So if you mark all that stuff, they're done.
Perfect, great.
I'm going to defend and maneuver.
O is defend.
Yep. I'm going to advance and attack.
All right. Masaru is attacking. Dora is attacking. That's everybody. I'm going to have my Gale. She is stunned, right? Because you hit her in the head.
Yeah, he got one nice hit, so she is stunned as a result of his bolster or hinder. Since she's stunned, he's taking advantage, and he's going to attack her in her moment of weakness.
Yeah. I'm just double checking just to make sure that I have that correct. That I don't pick a thing for her. We're gonna have the cannon. He's going to defend. The captain is going to. I'm gonna say the captain's probably gonna defend if he sees you pulling up with a sword on him.
No, he should advance and attack. Let's start burning that fatigue super fast.
One of the things that you need to remember to do is have the NPCs go first. Like, you have to choose their stances before we do. That way, but you don't tell us what it is. That way, we're not. Unfortunately, you're not choosing things based on what we've chosen in order to prevent NPCs from making.
Right, I have to choose them first. That makes it so that you can. Okay.
Yeah, it prevents you from being able to go, well, you're doing this, and I know there's a negative, so I'm not gonna.
Right.
Granted, due to Li Shen's last maneuver, it makes sense for him not to attack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because draw close has Li Shen in an advantageous position. But there's a reason why it has you do things in that particular order.
That makes more sense. Thank you. Okay, I think that's everybody. Oh, pirates.
Oh, pirates.
In that case, I am going to just go with what I did last round, just to make it less beneficial for me in that case, since I shouldn't have done that. So my defendings are Poe and the cannons. So Poe, I need you to roll your.
All right, I am favored, so I get to choose an extra one for this. Even on a miss, so I still get to do my parry. So I mark a fatigue, and now anyone.
When the captain attacks you, since that's what he's going to do, mark fatigue 1 for 1.
Yeah, I can do 1 for 1 to just negate his attack, and every time he attacks, he's marking an extra fatigue as well.
Don't forget, you did roll a miss. You can choose to move 1 away from center to choose one of the basic techniques from defend and maneuver.
I am already 2 away from center, so that
you don't want to go off center in the middle of this combat. That's completely fair.
Considering it takes you out of combat, yeah.
Yeah, I started off 1 away from center and didn't realize that my giving guidance to Chamu last session also moved me away from center or towards the same area. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. I'm leaning towards one principle way too fast.
Can you use this even though you missed? I don't think you can.
I got the favorite status from Draw Close.
Gotcha. Okay,
That lets me use an extra technique. So even on a miss, I get to use one.
Okay. Gotcha.
If I had actually gotten a full hit, or if I got a full hit, I would have been, I think, 3.
Right, but you have to be choosing
insane.
a basic or a mastered technique.
All of my
all of his attacks are mastered because he's
the
Oh,
elder.
man. Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yep. No, trust me. It is definitely listening to this combat is me hearing a bunch of stuff that just does not apply to me and trying to figure out what parts do. I definitely chose a very, very odd playbook to do as my first, foray into a long-form Avatar game. It's not just a random one-shot. Especially considering my conditions are not your conditions. I have fancy new old man conditions that are weirder.
I tried to warn you not to play one of the ones out of
Yeah, it's fine.
Out of Wan Shi Tong's book because they're all of them are weird in their own way.
Yeah, the pillar is also weird.
Yeah, but the pillar's not out of Wan Shi Tong, I don't think.
Yeah, pillar's not a core.
Cannon. The cannon is going to use his Earth launch. Throw yourself into the air with a massive burst of force. Mark 1 fatigue and become favored. Disengage with all foes who can't reach you high in the air for the rest of the exchange. But you come right back down in the midst of the end of the exchange.
I hate to be this guy. I think Kid is also trying not to be this guy.
Yeah.
How is he Earth launching on a boat on the water?
Well, I mean, I get that he's throwing boulders because they brought some with them, but
that is a great observation. What an amazing observation you guys have come up with.
I mean, we could say he's using the boulder still. Like, if you still want to do it, absolutely go for it. It's
just jumps on a boulder and then uses it to launch himself into the air.
Just throwing out there that the Earthbender prison was a boat, anyways.
I mean, technically,
I've got a job
wood grows in
to
dirt, and therefore it's present in all of wood.
Sadly, plant or wood bending comes off of water bending, not earth.
Which
that's usually got to be living stuff still.
It's got to have water in it. Most wood that's used for ships has been dried and treated to prevent water from getting into it.
That's fine. I'm just going to say that he uses ready, which is just preparing himself for anybody who attacks him. All right. Next, we're headed towards our attackers.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
I believe in you guys.
He gets to give himself a status or take one away from one of his allies. So it may not be a bad idea for him to set himself up with something like favored or inspired, something like that. So he's ready to go next combat.
Lottie, this is
not Lottie's thing. So many low rolls.
Miss. So you attempt to attack these soldiers, but they are ready for your attack. So they are going to dodge you and attack you right back. And I believe you need to mark a couple fatigue.
I do.
Poor Lottie. This combat is just not working out for her. It's the boat. It's not the right kind of boat, so it doesn't have the right sway.
Yeah, I'm used to a flat bottom kind of boat. This here boat is too big and too rocky.
So what you're saying is flat bottom boats, they make the rocking ship go down?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Flat bottom boats, you make the rocking ship go down.
All right, Masaru, what are you up to?
I'm gonna shoot some lightning. Let's see what my advanced attack roll comes up with first. Oh man, I got a 6. Oops.
That's painful.
Oh man, too bad you weren't prepared from the jet step because you would have got the +1.
I would have.
Okay. Well, listen here to this. We're getting close to the time that we would be ending this. So what I'm going to say is, Masaru, you charge your lightning attack and you miss the lightning attack. It does not hit your intended target. It does, however, blow a hole straight through the boat, causing the boat to start taking on water, which means that the pirates are going to disengage from the combat with you guys. Because they are sinking. So they're not paying attention to you. You guys have the ability to get back on to get the restraints off of Trinket, get back onto her, and attempt to leave the ship and head off. But we do know of a captive on the ship. So Poli, do you have anything that you want to say or do before?
Yeah, well, not the crew. I'm telling you guys, and be like, hey, there's a captive. Chime, bring Trinket around to the backside of the boat. And I'm just gonna go running down, pull the keys out, and literally do the Terminator "come with me if you want to live." As the water is sloshing up around her feet, unlock it, grab her, and then jump out of the back of the boat. Hopefully, either onto Trinket or into the water to soon be retrieved by Trinket.
I can waterbend you guys up to Trinket. I swear I can do that.
And
But can you?
Don't make fun of my waterbending skills.
It's okay.
This water is too. This water is too fresh and too clean and too not full of little swampity creatures.
You mean it's too salty?
It's
And
too
not
salty.
fresh?
Well, I mean, bayous tend to be like a brackish water.
Yeah.
All right. I will say that you guys do get onto onto Trinket, and you are you going to put any restraints on this
Absolutely.
captive? Okay. Well, now the boat is even more now the bison's even more crowded as you guys fly away, but in the distance you hear the howling of Captain Choi Ying as he screams, I'm coming for that bison, you hear me? And
Chime, you've been out of the temple for 3 days and have a nemesis.
You guys escape, and we will see what happens next in 2 weeks on Avatar Legends by Shadows of Nox. Do we want to do growth questions, or do we want to?
I think it's best to do them while it's fresh.
Yeah, I think we can do them.
All right, let's knock them through real quick. So let's start with we'll start with. How about
we can start with Li Shen. Li Shen's the easiest one.
Yeah, let's do Poli. Done. Over. Lottie, did you do anything?
Not well.
Lottie, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
Challenging that sometimes people just don't want to be your friend or do the right thing.
I don't know. I don't know. They were pretty obvious villains. I think it's
maybe she's stupid.
I think she's naive, not stupid.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? I would say no. I would say that you did not.
Tried. I really.
The boat's gone.
Yeah,
that's on me though.
The ship is being sunk.
It's gone.
Okay, and did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? I would say that is a no for sure.
She not in center?
No, she moved to do.
Oh, no, she's not. She shifted away from it to do a basic technique, I think.
I did.
Oh,
to
well, there you
not
go.
fail as much. To not fail as much as I have been failing.
Poor Dorley.
She was trying so hard, but she failed so big.
That is true.
So
Let's go.
Before we move on, sorry, quick thing. My ability thing says when the PC shifts their center towards that principal. Does it mean that they shift their actual like red dot over, or is it something like?
Okay, so from what I understand, the red dot is where you want your center to be. So if your center is one way or the other, the red dot is your center. Then when you move the arrows, the blue diamond, that shifts it to where you're currently at on your balance.
So technically, I get an advance then because Cha-Mu shifted towards leadership this session.
Oh well, there you go.
Nice.
Give me a
So
second.
you are off of my protege list. And if that I won't mark the advance now if that ends up not being the case, in case like there's some niche rule or anything, because wonky playbook. But that's just want to
What
clarify
does
that.
that do for me?
I'm
Does that-
wondering
Nothing.
though.
That's how I grow.
Nothing.
I mean, to be fair, he shifted it in combat. He didn't really shift it because of anything that you said to him.
Oh,
Or, like-
when they shift their center, no one shifted their center. That's when you change where your actual balance point is.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's the red dot. So
So that
Yeah.
is the red dot. Never mind.
Yeah, the other thing fluctuates all the time. The actual center being moved is what you're after.
Okie dokie.
All right. Masaru, we're gonna go with you next.
Works for me.
There's also Dora's question on her sheet, but I don't think she did that.
No.
What
did
is
you express
Dora's
vulnerability?
question?
Did you express vulnerability by admitting you were wrong or that you should have listened to someone you ignored?
Nope.
No. Let me get
Nope,
that.
I didn't do that.
All right. Masaru, did you learn something challenging or exciting or complicated about the world?
I'm gonna say he already knew about pirates, so I can't say pirates. So no.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
I mean,
You did
I put a hole in the boat.
Yeah. I will say that you did that. That makes sense. And also, for anyone who doesn't know Masaru, you just saw somebody bend lightning. You saw someone shoot lightning out of their fingers.
Yeah, no,
Which-
that's going to be a conversation.
You
yeah,
Sky bison.
probably don't know is possible.
Here's my favorite part. I kind of picture it that like while she was stunned, he actually took the time to jump on top of the saddle.
Yeah.
So Trinket shifted right as he was going to shoot lightning. That's why he hit the boat.
Yeah. Not only was she stunned because you kicked her in the face, but also you shot lightning out of your hands.
Does this mean that
stunning.
Trinket's fur is all staticky and poofy?
he's a giant sky poof.
Did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center?
I did end at center.
All right. Well, then you've hit all four.
I did. Unfortunately, my personal growth question is, did you express gratitude to a companion for their presence, support, or teaching? Did not apply, so the answer to that one is no.
That is true. All right.
I'm going to get back with you on which advancement I'm going to choose. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Let me know when you decide that. We'll go with Chime next. Chime, did you learn something
I'm
challenging
going
and
to just
exciting?
skip all. The only one I got is I'm still at center. We'll just.
All right.
I'm bad just like everybody else.
Well, you do also fulfill all your growth by doing that. So you can take an advancement. Just let me know which one of those you do.
Yeah, I'll let you know in the 2 weeks.
Did you accomplish your treat? No, I don't think you did. Cha-Mu.
No, not at all.
Nothing.
None of them.
Nothing.
Nope.
Not a good
That's the hardest.
for us
He
to
didn't do
grow.
anything. He wasn't even able to help lead the group. So like, he literally out of his, you don't put an earthbender in the sky and then on water. I mean,
That's
Not his
true.
best day.
This was not a great place for you to
not
be.
my. Yeah, this is not my ground.
All right. If that's everyone, then we got through that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for dealing with us through learning how combat works. I promise I read it so many times, but I'm so bad at applying things that I've read if I haven't done them before. I'm very much a learn by doing kind of person. So now that we've done it, which means that I have a better grasp on how to do it, but I'd like to thank Grim for stepping in and helping, as well as Kit for helping in those situations. That was very helpful. But we will see you in 2 weeks' time for more Avatar Legends. Thank you so much for being here.
One last call out. Don't forget hashtag spooky snack if you haven't done
Spooky snacks. Put them in the chat. Spooky snacks.
Get those spooky snacks. Dang it.
Yeah, I put a bunch of Doritos to remind you. So
Snacks. Gotta get those snacks, guys.
Nah.
Bye.
Bye.